Today I want to walk you guys through kind of how to do Robinhood, but kind of start off with a small balance and work your way up. Um, for these are like accounts if you want to start off like $300, $400 and you want to do strategies into kind of scaling it up over time. So uh, some of the methods here now, if you have 300, 400 and you want to do options, it would only take like a $4 difference in price to um, uh, stop out your account. So I wouldn't recommend doing things like the S&P. I'd start off with stocks that are a little bit cheaper. So you want to go over companies that don't really have a lot of volatility, that don't really move a lot. They move kind of not as much as the S&P does. So you want to focus on those stocks. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be looking at a stock. We'll look at Walmart, because from the difference of doing it on S&P to Walmart, S&P moves a lot more than the Walmart stock does. So I'll show you the difference between the two and how much they move, but this is for like growing an account over time. You can do options with Walmart, but it won't move as much. So if you're good with your trading, you can really start to blow up your account on certain assets. So today we're going to look at Walmart and how you can look at the charts and blow it up eventually over time, and then eventually you can go to the bigger assets. Okay, so first, before we get started with looking at Walmart, want to look at the S&P real quick, and just in today, we want to look at today. We'll look at the movements of how much it moved today, which is May 1st. So we're going to go here and we'll see how much it moved. So if you start right here and you get out right here, the S&P moved about $16 today in 5 hours. So real quickly, we're going to look at how much Walmart moved. Now Walmart moved, today's May 1st. It should be the same. It should be bullish too. But you'll notice that it does not, you don't see that it didn't move as much, but see, we'll go to May 1st. So right here, if you wrote it out till here, you'll see that in 6 hours, which was today, it only moved 77 cents. Now, for those that want to blow up a small account, you can start off with a small amount, and you can have a goal here. Let's go to Robinhood. So if we go to Walmart here, you'll see that I did $4.75 a call. It was Walmart, and rose it to 505. And then he did the put as well. But anyway, you get the idea that it grew a little bit here, so there was a little bit of gains. So basically, if you want to trade something like Walmart or a smaller known company, Walmart, other stocks, just know the fact that it will not move as much as the S&P, so you're not going to have that difference you won't have that difference that the S&P does. But one thing that you want to look at here, if you have a goal here of just getting to $1, now it could get to that dollar. It all depends on the charts, but what I would do basically is to find it in the money, and you can usually find that with 400, somewhere around there. So let's just look at a couple of these. 440. Let's just go back a little bit higher. Here we go. So right now, it's about $1,000 right now. But you want to get as close to this dot as possible. So in whatever direction you want to focus on, you want to make sure you hit at least 50 cents to $1, and you want to try and do that per day. Now with Walmart, you can pretty much get to that if you know your trading. So basically, if you wanted to go from 95, you would have to have a goal here of right here, 95, and you want to go to $95 right here. And that will get you about $100. Now, it probably won't go any more than that unless you find a really good trade. It can go more, but if we break this down into days here, it'll be kind of very hard to find more than $1. You typically can't find anywhere from 50 cents to $1. So let's just go back to May. So right here, this was about $1. So if you time that, you would have made $100. You would have made anywhere from 50 to $100 in that trade. And let's find the next day and see how much it moved. Let's find the 30th. Okay, so this right here is the 30th. If you want to come in here and you want to write it out till the end of the day, this was 6 hours. In one day, it moved $1.44. So you might have been able to catch $1 in between that. So you can very much, if you're really good with your trading, you can catch anywhere from a 50 cents to $1 move. But very rarely will you find a bigger move in a day's period. Usually in a day, it'll move maybe at 50 cents to $1. So let's see, we'll do another one right here. Here's the 24th. Ride this one out. See, where did it end? It ended right there. So the 24th, 23rd, so right here. So this was the end of it right about here. Yeah, about $1. So per day, you might find somewhere between 50 cents to $1 when trading something like Walmart. So to start small, you start in with a little bit of like $300, $400, $500, and you target those small companies. Walmart's not small, but it generally moves about 50 cents to $1 per day. You might get lucky on a couple of them if you find them, but for the most part, from what we see in the charts, it moves about 50 cents to $1 per day. So you can find anywhere from a $50 to $100 day by just trading a company like Walmart. So from that, you can focus on that for a while and kind of scale your money up. And what you would do, then you can go into some of the bigger ones like the S&P and some of the bigger stocks out there. But this is a good way of practicing options by focusing on the stocks that, they move, but they don't move as much as the S&P does. So you could start small with something like Walmart and get your $50 to $100 a day. And once you have accumulated that, you could move on to the bigger stocks like the S&P. So anyway, that's just kind of a little strategy to grow a small account. And that's just doing it with options. So you can also buy in and sell as well, but mainly this is for doing it with options. So anyway, if you guys like this strategy, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys for future videos.